Hey, I wanted to do a quick tutorial on rubrics in Angel. To get started, we go to the Manage tab in your course and then go to the Rubric Manager. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and add a new one real quick. Give it a name. And then you decide on how many columns, and these are your achievement levels. Some of the basics that I've seen are actually like 4 levels, where you have a 0, they didn't do it at all, and then you have a basic, proficient, and then distinguished, with distinguished being the best of them. And so we'll go ahead and keep it at 4 here. And so you can then adjust your percentages on how you want it to spill out. So 100% definitely would be the distinguished. And then what we can do, with proficient being an 80 and basic being a 70, and then anything below that really is a 0. And then your criteria, this is what you're grading on within the rubric. So this could be the objectives from your course, or it could be 4 components or 5 components or whatever you're looking for your assignment. We'll just stay with 4. Go ahead and click Next Step. And so then now we can then rename our achievement levels. And so instead of achievement level 1, we'll say not submitted or non-existent. Okay. And then we'll go to the next one, and this will be basic, proficient, and distinguished. Okay. And then what you would do is then you would define your criteria, and since there's 4, it splits it into 25%. The thing is, you can adjust these by let's say this one's 50, but then we have to go to the next ones and modify those to be less. Has to be a whole number. And so then we would need to, so as long as they all add up to 100% across your categories, then what Angel will do is adjust what percentage these would be based on what you have up here and along the left. The reason we use percentages is because then you can attach this rubric to any pointed assignment. So if it's 100 points, 10 points, 2 points, Angel will do the calculations for that for each box that you select for your students. The other thing I want to point out is that each of these boxes can be given a description as well. And so a lot of faculty will then go in and say, well, what does distinguished look for this particular criteria? And they'll write out an explanation. The more detail you put in here, the less comments later on you'll have to give to your students. Okay, but we're going to go ahead and leave ours blank, and Angel will warn us about that. At least one descriptor cell is blank, and we'll go ahead and click OK, because we're going to just give general feedback. Okay, and then we click Save. Once we have our rubric in place, now we need to attach it to content. And so what's nice about the rubrics that we build is that we can attach them either to a Dropbox, an essay question, or a discussion forum. So I will go ahead and attach it to a Dropbox. So I'll go to Settings, and then Assignment, and then you have Grading Rubric, and right now we don't have any in use. We'll go ahead and do our Practice Rubric. And it doesn't make sense to me anyway, to implement a rubric and then not display it to students before and after their submissions so they can see what it looks like. And this is really what they'll see when they click on the View Rubric. And so it really does help then to have some explanation of what you're looking for each criteria in these boxes, so that when they preview it beforehand, they know how you're going to be grading the assignment. Okay, so that's how we attach it to a Dropbox, and then just click Save. And then from the student's perspective, when they come to the Dropbox, they'll have this link down here, before they click the submit to view grading rubric. And then after they submit it, they'll have a link that says view grading rubric right next to the grade to show which sections they got marked. Okay, so that's what they see. And then when you go to grade it, submissions, view grade or delete submissions. Of course I don't have one. Let's do one real quick. Okay, so submissions, view grade or delete submissions, and then we'll go to grade. And so then what we'll do is we'll click use grading rubric, and then we just click where we feel the student met each one. It'll automatically total up the points based on the percentages. There's 100 points for this particular assignment, and as we adjust our points here, the student gets an updated score here, and when we click save, that comes over here. And then we can put in any general comments that we want to give to the student, or maybe upload an attachment. Click OK, and now it's graded. So then when we come back to here to view it, that's what the students will see, is view rubric scores, and then they'll see the rubric with what we selected for their points. It's the same route when you're just attaching it to a discussion forum. You go to settings in the assignment tab, and then for essay questions on an exam, on an assessment, you have to click on the actual question, and then there's an option to use a rubric there, and it'll look very similar to what you saw for the Dropbox. If you have any questions, just give us a call. Thanks. Bye.